Weekend, and we're being brought to you by a title sponsor, the Weed Squad St. Louis. Feel free to stop by those guys' location. They're located at 8088 Watson Road. If you would like to get a little bit more feel of the show, the sponsors, and learn a little bit more about me, just visit DreMontez.com. Find out all kind of goodsies and stories and some swag. Support the sponsors, by the way. Find out who the sponsors are. Maybe you have a business or a passion or a marketing event coming up. Feel free to contact me. You can do so right there on the website. You can also follow us on different social media platforms. On Facebook, Who's to Blame? Instagram, Who's to Blame the podcast? Twitter, at W2B, Dre Montez. And we also have a channel on YouTube, Dre Montez. Thank you to the latest sponsors we've been getting for that. By the way, as the membership upgrade has been really climbing the charts at a very, very moderate rate. I'm happy to say that. I'm happy to say that I absolutely am. All the sound effects are back this morning. Thank you. You know, we do what we can do. We do what we can do around here. But most importantly, it's cold outside, guys. It's cold outside. If you have dogs especially, you're going to find out how you and your dog relationship is when you have to take the dog outside. You know, you're going to have to do that, really. But you know we have to do, good people. Got to get on into it, okay? High fives. Chest bump. Let's hug it out. We need 2 of those this morning. Oh, if you got a body next to you in the bed in a good way, hey, you deserve it. You deserve it. It's cold out there. Easy now. You got to ease on into a day like this. You know, I know it's a holiday, but still, somebody's still got to leave the house for something. I told you to go get some bread last night. You got to wake up your son or your daughter. I need you to walk to the store for me. You get some toilet paper. But why y'all don't get none other day? That's not the point. You got to walk today. So bundle up. Happy belated Valentine's Day to all you folks out there. Men and women. Happy Valentine's Day. You have to be careful telling people happy Valentine's Day of the opposite sex, because you always have people going in their phone, taking things the wrong way, taking things way out of context. So you can't really tell everybody happy Valentine's Day the way you do Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Easter, Happy Thanksgiving, Happy Memorial Day, Happy 4th of July. You got the easiest pain on Valentine's Day. So to you all, for Montez at Midday and for Who's to Blame the podcast, happy belated Valentine's Day to you all. Hope everyone had a great one. Did you do something special for yourself or your boo? I cooked. I got my cooking game on. I cooked myself 4 meals yesterday. Small proportion meals. You know, I kind of evened it on out, stretched it out, kind of went with the weather, so to speak. And I was going with the theme of the day, Daytona 500. My driver didn't win, the 1-9, Martin Truex. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, wrecks happen. Wrecks happen. It's a part of the game. We understand all of that. We get it. We understand it. But still, I enjoyed the race. I enjoyed the pregame race, by the way. It was very nice getting a little bit more insight into the drivers in the world of NASCAR for people that are not familiar with it, and knowing that this is the Super Bowl. They start off the season with the biggest race of the year, and I've been to 3 Daytona 500s, and I'm telling you, television does not give it justice at all. I enjoyed the piece with Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, and Bubba Wallace. I thought that was well done. Michael Strahan, the hardest working man in front of the camera, beside the camera, and in the damn TV, the hardest man out there. But I'm glad he shared that experience. We're always going to get crazy wrecks out there. Congratulations to Michael McDowell. I don't know if he's related to McDowell's Burgers from Coming to America, but maybe that's a distant cousin to the McDowell's right there. But maybe, hey, congratulations. Heck of a race. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. Well, let's get on into the show. We're going to start today's topic of discussion off on the price of sports when it comes to historical feats. Now, being a huge sports fan, again, thank you, Dad. Thank you, G-Ma, for putting that gene inside of me. The passion of playing sports and watching sports and going to sporting events or different things. There's monetary value in all of them, especially playing sports. Your parents play a fuckload of money, so that's why you should do your due diligence and practice and understand the financial side of it. Then when you're getting older, there's another version of the game of sports. And then when you're a fan of professional sports, it's a different version too as well. All of it costs money, some kind of way, from tickets to the game to the paraphernalia that you're going to wear. And then that paraphernalia turns into what they like to call memorabilia. First time I heard about that word was probably 1978, 79, when baseball collections and Big League Chew was like a big thing. You know how many baseball cards I put inside of a bicycle spoke to make it sound differently? Didn't know any better. Didn't know any better at all. Then I learned another side of the game in 1980. I got my first foul tip ball at the old Busch Stadium. And I was told, if you get an autograph and hold on to it, you can make a lot of money off of this one day. I was like, what? Wait a minute. If I get people to sign this and I hold on to it for a long time, it's going to be worth money? It blew my mind. So I decided to get a few autographs when I was into autographs from athletes as a young child. Thank you, Boys Club of St. Louis. But one day, we're playing some baseball, my friends and I. You know, there's always one kid that's stronger than anybody. Same age group, but just strong. Well, we had one of those friends. And he hit the ball someplace we couldn't find it. So now, little scene out of the Sandlot, except we didn't go have to get the ball from the Beast. We had to figure out to get another ball. So I said, I got a ball at home. So I went and got the autograph ball and played with it. So that let me know right there I was not going to be a huge sports collector into the memorabilia stage of it. But a crazy thing happened as I got older. I started seeing and hearing about these great historical feats out there. You know, doing something incredible in football. But in football, you usually get that ball back. In hockey, you get the puck back. In tennis, it's either the racket they sign, you know, or whatnot, things like that. But in baseball, if you do something historic, the ball usually is out there with the fans. So now you got to get the ball back from the fan. This is where I get totally lost in the game of sports. Now, I always say, when people get kicked out of sporting events or games, on the back of the ticket, there's some rules and regulations that you must adhere to. If not, you could be exit stage left, get on up out of here. There's nothing on here that says, I can't tell this guy or young lady I don't like what they're doing on the court. But there's a way to conduct yourself. And if you don't adhere by the policies and procedures as a ticket holder at that sporting event, you got to go bye-bye. But I think here's where the fan kind of says, uh-oh, I got you. If you catch or get a ball that means a whole lot to the player, it becomes a financial transaction right here. And these numbers have gotten through the roof over the years. I am 50 years old. I've been loving the game of sports since 1975. I've been a fan. I remember that sitting on my daddy's knee as you're a baby. They bounce you on their knee, and I'm watching the wild world of sports with the old man. But the price, if I'm a Major League Baseball player and I hit a home run, that I am now the number one home run hitter in all of Major League Baseball, in all of its time. And now I have to give a fan $2 to $5 million, or that fan could sell it to an auction place and the price even goes up even more. Is that fair to you in the world of sports? If you're the player, I don't want to hear about, well, Dre, they make all this damn money. They should be on it. I don't know. It's like the guy that caught the very first foul ball. He went to jail. Think about that. Let that sink in for a moment. He went to jail for refusing to throw the ball back onto the playing field. I'm just talking about the balls that are historic significance of a feat for that certain athlete, and now there's a negotiation with the fan and the player. Is that fair to you? And then how does the market value get that increasingly high when it goes that way? What is a fair thing if you go out and catch the next great home run feat? Let's say somebody hits 95 home runs in a baseball season, and you happen to catch that ball. Are you going to give it to the player? And should the player out of his own heart say to himself, well, this fan gave me the ball. That means so much to Major League Baseball and the Hall of Fame committee and to myself as well. Should I just take the ball, take a picture with the dude, go out and hang out at his house or bring him to my house or take him to a game? Is that it? Is that enough? If you're a fan now, if you're a fan of the game and you appreciate what this athlete has done and you catch this ball, he hits 95 home runs. And you're a fan of the game of baseball. I don't care about your other feelings like, I don't like that son bitch. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Because we do get in our feelings. But if you catch that ball, are you expecting millions of dollars? Are you expecting him to offer you money? And if he did, would you take it? Or are you going to be the type that says, I'm going to hold on to this. I want some money up out of this. Let me know what you think. Really do. If you just tuned in, thank you so much. And I don't care where you listen to your podcast at, but you can listen to mine also on Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Anchor. Is out there for you wherever you listen to your podcast at. Just type in Who's to Blame, a Dre Montez. Or you can just go to DreMontez.com and take care of all that right there. I just thought that was an interesting little piece I saw about the way that the historical feats of Major League Baseball, when it comes to getting that ball, how the prices, I guess, increased over the decades, so to speak, if you want to put it like that. All right. We saw a little bit of this during the Super Bowl pregame. Has it been a week already? Did Kansas City still lose? Pat Mahomes got $500 million. Okay, let it go. Let it go. Good Super Bowl, by the way. Go Chiefs. But James Brown, well, I'm sorry, the whole pre-game show, there was just a little snippet about this, about life after the game. The Players Union. In the movie Concussion with Will Smith, when they were bringing up the whole CTE thing, we saw another side of sports. When players retire or forced to retire or have done their deal of service, we've heard different stories. I'm not talking about the financial downfall of what happened, all that money you made. No, not about that. All the women and all that. No, I'm talking about the medical side of this. After you're done playing ball, who's looking out for your best interest? I know I used to know in everyday conversation when I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, a few football players down there with the Panthers. But since we've lost how many teams there? 2. I'm just living through the social media war. I'm just living through there, contacting the players I know, that couples still in the game, and there's a few that don't play anymore. But luckily, this hasn't come up with them yet, but I know it's on their mind. We look at this game as a great battle, the most physical sport known to man, the NFL. It is the most powerful league out there of the 4 major sports. They've made several documentaries about this, about trying to attack the NFL, trying to attack the Shield. They always talk about protecting the Shield. The NFL will do everything it can to protect its integrity of the game. But there's another side of this. These guys battling out there in the trenches, offensive line and defensive line. Hell, ESPN used to have a series called You Got Jacked Up, We thought it was funny. It was hilarious. Ooh, man, they were hitting. You kids today that are just now getting into football the past 10 years ago, go to old NFL films. That slow motion. That voice, Ray Nitschke in the frozen tundra. Look how they were hitting. On the other side of that, you had guys that were having a terrible time dealing with life after football. There's no protection for them when it comes to health issues. What is the responsibility of the league? What is the responsibility of the union that's affiliated with the players and the league? I get it. They chose to play that sport. You're basically being a crash test dummy. We get all that. We understand that. But there still has to be realism on the other side of this. Hey, these guys get hurt playing it out there. You know, what if some alien issues come up down the line? Down the line, what's going to there's a whole lot of lawsuits going on against the NFL and with the NFL containing things like this. I think the last time they settled, it was 45,000 players that was involved in this lawsuit. They had to split, I think, $490 million, something like that. If you break it down to its purest form, that's not a lot. We all know that medical fees are through the roof. Go look in that drawer in the kitchen, pull it out, all the medical bills you got in there, past due, and open them. Look at the simple medical procedure. Going through this vision loss that I have, I've paid attention to all my bills that I've got. You know, just what they charge, what the fee is. I'm not knocking the game. Hey, I'm not in that field. I don't know what the fee should be, but there is a fee associated with any medical condition or ailment you may have. But to these professional athletes, they're not getting the care, supervision that they need. I'm worried about these guys. Some of these people used to wear their uniform. We used to cheer for them through the TV or at the game. We used to boo them, flip them the bird. But it was still part of the game, instead of the unprecedented, untalked about sportsmanlike conduct that we had as fans. But I'm wondering, as the NFL is always talking about this every December, in the week after the Super Bowl, or the week during the Super Bowl, the issues that are concerns to players and former players, the players that are on their way out, about to retire, they have to be thinking about this. All these concussions and surgeries I had, did they get it right? Am I going to be okay after this game? I'm just worried about that. I really am. Again, thank you for tuning in, guys. But I just really been bothered by what's been happening to the NFL player. Baseball and hockey and golf, they have their issues as well, too. But those guys are not in the same position as former NFL players. Not at all. Not at all. They had a sombering moment yesterday due to the fact it's been 20 years since Dale Earnhardt Sr. passed away. And let me get into it real quick, and we're going to get back to this here. But I was coming back from the D.C. area, heading into Charlotte, North Carolina. We had heard on the radio, listened to the race, that something had happened to Dale Earnhardt Sr. Then we heard he passed away. So the three of us in the car coming back, it was like that quiet time in the car. And we see a 18-wheeler coming past us. And we see this trail of cars behind the 18-wheelers. Turned out to be that was the truck that was carrying his car. And those fans followed that truck. Amazing. Can't believe it's been 20 years. But what a race yesterday. What a race yesterday, the Daytona 500. Well, since that man, Terrific Tom, has done some things. At the age that he is. We've heard Tom Brady's age so many times. He's 43 years old. We've heard the name George Blanda. We've heard about George Foreman. We've heard all these people with a 4 in front still playing the game as a kid and with passion and professionalism. We saw all this. I kind of think it's like a little age discrimination. The way they're trying to justify, how is this man able to do this at age 43? Well, I'm quite sure there are a lot of former athletes that have probably said this to themselves. If I didn't smoke cigars, if I didn't smoke cigarettes, if I didn't drink that much, if I went home at a reasonable time, I would probably or could have probably played a little longer than I did. But a lot of athletes don't realize this until after the fact. We hear it all the time. I didn't take the game seriously. I never went to practice. I didn't read the playbook. I never gave it 110%. Man, I couldn't believe I was there. We hear that. Guys that have played 3 to 5 years. And we wonder, where are they now? What are they doing? And they reflect on their career. And they tell you what happened. What made the interest go from here all the way down to here. But this age thing has been, it's one of those sports science things. They're going to take the blood from Tom Brady, skin cells from him. They're going to put it in all kind of weather conditions under the microscope. And they're going to try to come out with a DNA formula to figure out what's in the mind and the body of T12. Did they do that with George Blanda? Did they do that with Gordie Howe? Did they do it with Ray Bork? Richard Petty? We can go on and on down the line. It's okay to still play the game that you love at the age with a 4 in front. A lot of guys can't play the game with a 3 in front. But they still think they can because they're not taking it seriously. They're not taking care of their body. For one, they don't know their body. They don't know their mental and medical makeup. They just know there's mom and dad. They've never said, Mom and Dad, we got any health problems in our family? Have that talk if you want to play ball. It goes a long way down the bloodline. Long way. But you're going to hear more and more about this as we get closer and closer to the NFL draft, the upcoming Major League Baseball season. I think the 40-year-old baseball player is much better than when he was in his 20s. Because they didn't know any better. They just knew how to play ball. But when you know how to play ball, in basketball, they're tracking it. They call it peak performance. And they give you a little printout to let you know when you're at your most productive in a 12-minute quarter. Not just the starters, but the guys on the bench. They know, well, this guy is only good for 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Let's use that at its right time. And they try to pinpoint that, and they document all this. Same thing goes on all these sports. They're tracking your peak performance levels. But this guy, T12, has went off the charts. Whether they lost the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl, I still think he'd have been coming back. I still think he'd have been drunk. He probably would have slipped and fell on the boat, though, this time. But trying to figure out the magic formula of winning is something that no one can. I think it's here. Gene Hackman said in The Replacements. It's right here. It starts right here in the heart. Then it goes up here as well. These two go together. That mind and that heart go together. And if you don't have the it factor, it's just not going to work for you. We're going to hear this term a lot as well. Bust, failure. What did they see in the game film? He can't practice well. He's not a good preparer for the game, the moment. All they can do is play. Well, there's some people like that. As we know, a whole lot of people that couldn't study well, but they could test their ass off. Then we know people that could study, but just couldn't pass the test. You're studying wrong. You got to study what registers right here. And I think that's what the older athlete has figured out. Let me figure out how to utilize myself to help my team in the best way possible. Let me use my skill set and my mindset. And, of course, my athleticism. Sometimes it works for some people, and sometimes it does not. But either way, it's been fun to watch what this guy T12 has done. But think about T12 and George Foreman. George Foreman did some crazy things, too, in the ring. Had an old man strength. Try to fight your uncle and see what I'm talking about. All right, our last topic of discussion is vision. I'm not talking about my vision or people that are suffering from low vision or LHON, Leber's hereditary optical neuropathy, such as me. But I'm talking about the vision of seeing the dream, the possibility. That guy that looks at a vacant lot and said, wow, I'm going to put me a complex right here. And then 5 years later, there's a complex there. And you see that guy like, how did you see that? Some people just have it. It's like when people are trying to tell you what they want to do. They can visualize it. Since I've lost my vision, I hear better than I can see, but I see everything that I hear. Does that make any sense to you? That's one of them old man proverbs I can't wait to say to my grandkids that make them scratch their head when they walk away. What did Papa Dre just say? Yeah, exactly. But what I mean by this, people have put together some wonderful, masterful ideas before the pandemic, but during this whole pandemic, some beautiful things have come out. Beautiful things. I'm like, when did you, it's just having that vision. And sometimes you're the only person that can understand what you're seeing, and you're trying to explain it to other people, and they're like, I don't think you ought to do that. But they're not seeing it the way you see it. And then you get frustrated. And then you put it on the back burner. Then here come 5 years later, somebody took your idea. And then your friends say, oh, that's what you were talking about. Epic fail. So don't lose sight that no one can understand your vision or see your vision. Just keep rocking and rolling with the thing. Everyone has failed. Everyone has been married at least one time, or 2 times, or 3 times, or 4 times. Focus. All I'm saying, keep going. Don't stop. Get it. Don't stop. Somebody is going to get it and understand it. You know, as I said, vision and seeing better than I hear. But I can see now. And I'm not talking about, as we saw, the people that don't like Valentine's Day or Christmas and Thanksgiving. Those are mean-ass people. The people that don't celebrate Christmas, don't do anything on Thanksgiving with their family, and don't like Valentine's Day, whoa, watch yourself for those people. Be careful. You got to tread easy. You got to walk in like Cab Calloway on them. Hidey. But that's what we talked about today on the show, and I appreciate it. We talked about the price of sports, from historic feats when someone catches a historic baseball or something. Why is there a price involved in that? On the athletic side and from the fan side as well. Life after the game. I'm concerned about these NFL players. I really am. It's been 20 years since Dale Earnhardt Jr. passed away. Great Daytona 500 yesterday. Age in sports. You're too damn old to be doing that, but I'm having fun and I'm winning and my wife is hot. Answer that. Vision and seeing. Better than I hear. I can see that. It comes to ideas. It comes in building. It comes up on that whole thing. Majority of my sponsors are small business owners in your community. Can't have a community without unity. So go to DreMontez.com. Hit that sponsor button. Hit that advertisers button. Hit that button. You see all these guys on the bottom right here. Get out there and support them. You understand that? And I know there's snow on the ground. If you're having towing issues, there's a tow company down there for you as well. They'll take care of you. Either way you look at it, you're going to be taken care of. That's the best way to put it. That is the best way to put it. Well, I've said what I was going to say. And I hope you guys really did enjoy today's show, because I enjoyed talking with you today. I'm not going to lie. I really did enjoy talking with you. But until next time, good kids and great people out there, we will do what they say and take it easy on the other side of town.